mindset.
WWE 2K23 servers officially go down forever as of today. 2K Games puts its finishing move on WWE 2K23 as the game's servers and community creations are taken offline. This happened January 16th, so just a couple days ago. Oh no, it's January 6th, excuse me. Today is a big day for the WWE as Raw officially moves to Netflix, with tonight's show from Los Angeles. It also marks the end of the era for WWE 2K23. As of now, 2K Games has taken down the game servers permanently. 2K Games said it was giving WWE 2K23 as final takedown last September. The game and its DLC was removed from PlayStation and Xbox digital storefronts at the beginning of November. Now that the servers are also down, WWE 2K23 will no longer have any online function, including player-to-player matches or even the community creations that allowed fan-made characters to be downloaded. However, WWE 2K23 will be available to play offline for anyone who purchased it prior to its removal. The game that foreshadows what will eventually be its successor, WWE 2K24. That game reintroduced the special referee mode and featured 40 years of WrestleMania, which allowed players to recreate several famous matches from the showcase of the Immortals. 2K Games hasn't officially unveiled WWE 2K25 yet, but if the game holds to the previous title's release window, it should arrive sometime early this year, probably February or end of February, beginning of March. WWE superstars have also crossed over with Call of Duty and Fortnite in the past, so the next WWE 2K game may not be the only place to find your favorite wrestlers in 2025. So there's only one comment. So let's see what this says. The Fox Hounded goes seriously. That's just another reason not to buy a 2K game again if they shut down servers that are only a few years old. Not even a few years old.
Not even, yeah.
Because 2K23 came out like March of 2023, so it's not even 2 full years.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's if you don't mind, I'm gonna say what I think about this first.
Oh, definitely.
This is one reason I really don't buy and or have any interest in buying the WWE 2K games because it's like you got to care about it in its first year, otherwise you're gonna miss out on the DLC. You're gonna miss out on any online function, and this is ridiculous, giving it a 22-month window of its online service. Imagine, this is, and it's also a cash grab saying, "Hey, you want to play WWE games online and download stuff online? Get get the next one, get the newest one." Yeah, some people don't don't care to just buy the next one just so they can continue playing it online. Um, you got to give people a reason to want to get it. You got to give people a reason to want to buy the next one. You can't just update the roster and say, "Job done, I'll buy it." Otherwise, you're gonna be offline when you play your old one. Why would I ever get WWE 2K23 now if I could never get the DLC, for example? Um, so this is, I mean, it for me, it kills my interest because like if I don't get a WWE game at launch, I don't want it.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Unfortunately, I don't. This is more unfortunately, but I don't buy W2K games anymore, or I never did actually. I even for the last at least 10 years, it should be more 15 years. I haven't bought any wrestling related games. All the only games I usually play are the old stuff from the N64, like No Mercy, WrestleMania 2000. That's on N64, by the way. Then
Yep,
there's also SmackDown. I had the first two SmackDown.
on
Shut Your
PlayStation.
on yeah, PlayStation One also. Well, I didn't have PS1 games, SmackDown 1 and 2, but I had Shut Your Mouth for the PS2, Know Your Role, what's called Know Your Role pretty much, and then Shut Your Mouth?
Shut
That's
your mouth, and
2002.
then here comes the pain in
Yeah,
2003.
Here Comes the Pain. I owned that for a while. I sold it almost a third. No, I didn't know. Someone stole it from me while I was moving and stuff. So it's a long story there. Pretty much up until SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, I had the collection of SmackDown vs. Raw, SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, and SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. So those are the games I have so far that I have right in front of me. I could still play if I really want to. As well as the old school SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, if I recall correctly, that is. Yeah, I have a lot of games to keep track of.
Yeah.
And I have a small collection in comparison to other gamers online who are YouTube gamers like, the Watts, Scott the Watts, and Jay West. These guys have a huge collection of Pokemon and wrestling and other games and stuff. I don't know how these guys do it, but I only have that's like a smidget. I'm in comparison, I'm like a smidget to these guys online, these legendary YouTube gamers. But other than that, SmackDown versus Raw was one of the biggest things to play in the 2000s. Wrestling was still relevant to some people out there back then. That was like post Attitude Era, and parts of Attitude Era. If you want to include the Merchants Party Attitude Era and WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah, the PS1 games. It was still the Attitude Era because that was 2000. Ruthless Aggression didn't come in until 2002, so that was SmackDown Shut Your Mouth year, and then
later on,
and then SmackDown ended with SmackDown Here Comes the Pain because they moved to SmackDown versus Raw just doing the years after that. SmackDown was Raw
McMahon's face as a cover. Yeah.
That lasted until 2011. Then instead of SmackDown versus Raw 2012, we got WWE 12. THQ said the reason for that, they said SmackDown and Raw really don't wrestle on TV anymore at this point. So, they cared about making the games more like the product you see on TV. Then THQ went out of business after a few months after WWE 13 came out. So 2K Games came in and Ukes was still developing what was going to be WWE 14, now WWE 2K14. And then Ukes left after WWE 2K19. 2K20 was the big disaster. 21 was canceled, never saw the light of day. And we've had WWE 2K22, 23, and 24.
Yeah, I'm surprised they still keep track of that after the 2K games came out because, it was like the popularity. This is my perspective, of course. The popularity is not there as it used to be for wrestling. So most of my neighbors, not most of my neighbors, but a good portion of who are my age group, my neighbors, we used to watch wrestling all the time and got the newest systems. Now it's like got older. Got more shit to do. When we would have family, friends, or holidays, or the vacation. You name it. It's like we got a lot of stuff going on for the last 15 years. Now it's like, who watches? The younger people are not watching wrestling as they used to. I try to tell some 20-year-old, one of my 20-year-old, my friends, or whatever, online. They're like, "Hey, you watch SmackDown, Raw?" It's like, wrestling? And like, you mean wrestling? Yeah. You watch wrestling? And no. I'm like, what the? Kill it to us. Yes, some of the coverage I see, like the promos, like the Raw's War, W Raw, pretty much on Netflix now. It started in January.
Yep.
On Netflix, I saw clips of it. And I saw this lady fall into 2 tables. I'm like, damn, they're hardcore. That's fucking them more than Trish and Victoria when they had their hardcore match, street fight match. Like, damn. So a lot has changed for the last 15 years. Victoria and Trish Stratus had their feud along with Jazz and Tori Wilson and stuff like that. So it's a lot has changed since then. My God, man.
Yeah. As far as my wrestling habits go, I don't watch any show wrestling wise straight through. Whether it's TNA, AEW, or WWE, I subscribe to the YouTube channel, and if I feel like watching wrestling, I'll see what they posted recently. But that's the only
You're
time.
watching on YouTube or something.
Yeah, is watching on. Well, this is not only just watching on YouTube. This is the official channel of WWE or the official channel of AEW. So,
Okay.
The wrestling companies have learned, hey, try to get some of that YouTube revenue. Why not
Definitely.
Why not upload your content instead of waiting for someone else to upload it and possibly. So it's based. So but that's the only way I've watched wrestling now for a long time, for at least the last year, is watching those clips.
Yeah. Your
But the
best bet
thing,
now, if I can say this, the best your best bet to watch decent wrestling is either on pay-per-view DVDs and or live. Because if you watch the pre-recorded on YouTube, they censored part of the violence out. So when Chipman did that leap of faith on Undertaker in one of those Hell in a Cell matches in
yeah.
WrestleMania, they cut out the part where Shane lands into the table, the
Oh
announcement
wow.
table. Yeah, I was like, yes. I was like, what? They censored it out. That was a beautiful thing. But then I had to I got what I actually got it on DVD later on, years back. I forgot which WrestleMania it was, but I got it for about 35, $40. The WrestleMania that Shane versus Undertaker fight each other for the first time in the WrestleMania. So that was good to have that as a mark. So yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but
go on.
no. I'm just saying, but like when it comes to the games, I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna invest in a game and it be offline less than 2 years after launch.
Yeah.
2K18, if I do that, I'm gonna buy it. So like if I don't buy the game day one, I'm not buying it. Period.
Hmm.
2K18, I bought uh, just because I wanted a 2K game because I had sold 2K14 and I went to 2K16 from GameFly and 2K15, um, and I never got 2K17. So like I bought 2K18 digitally just so I would have it because uh, I was moving at the time, so I knew if GameStop tried to deliver it, it's like I don't know where my new address is going to be or the new address yet. So I don't, if they deliver it to my old place, it's just going to be returned. So I got it digitally, and I got the DLC the same day, and it's like, okay, I got that. If I want to play a game, sure, it's out. It may be somewhat outdated, but if I play a different wrestling game, it's gonna be old. It's gonna be older anyway. I'll play WWE 2K14 um, because that still was basically 2K when they purchased the license. They didn't have the money to build the game from the ground up. They had to
Yeah.
go with what was had already been built. So WWE 2K14 is like the real last THQ game,
Hmm.
even though it's a 2K game. Uh, Whatever THQ had told Ukes to do, or agreed with Ukes to do, you know, 2K had to basically say, if we want to meet our deadline, just continue what you started. Um, so I'll do that. I If I get another 360, I might get WWE 12, um, or I might get SmackDown versus Raw 2011 for the PlayStation 3 because these are also the games that I have the DLC for. So obviously, I'm going to get a game for the system where I have the DLC. But I mean, this is now, but I hate, I'll go back to those games. But I hate this new thing about buy our game and then less than 2 years later the servers are down.
Yeah, it's not worth it after a while, especially if
Yeah,
that everything's online.
and not to mention, it's like I think the prices. I don't know if WWE went up to $70 instead of 60. So now I got to pay $70 and my game's going to last a shorter amount of time.
Hmm. Plus, you gotta buy DLC at the behind the $70 game as well.
Yeah, I mean I don't mind that because like I say, I'd rather games do DLC instead of um, microtransactions or anything like that. Um,
The live service games, yeah.
or live service. But at the same time, it's like you if you're going through financial hard times just for a few months, you're screwed unless you come into some money uh, somehow.
Yeah.
And I'm like I said, just the 40 years of WrestleMania, it's really not. Because what they do is I thought they were going to do what they did in WWE 2K14, where you play through all 30 years of WrestleMania. You play through all the main events. So WrestleMania 1 was Big John Studd and Andre the Giant. WrestleMania 2,
Yeah.
Hogan and Bundy in the cage. WrestleMania 3, Hogan and Giant. And they went through every single WrestleMania,
Hmm.
the big time matches. WrestleMania 2K20, WWE 2K24 only has like 23 or 25 matches out of 39 WrestleManias that already happened. So not even
Mm.
every WrestleMania is represented.
They should be cheap with it, or trying to make sure no one doesn't know about the history of the E back then.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, you know, and don't give me that, you know, oh well, they couldn't, you know, add Chris Benoit. They could have. Okay, so you don't add you could have still done Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle. That happened WrestleMania 20 also. You could
Or
have
Owen Hart, even.
Owen Hart, yeah, him and Brett at WrestleMania 10, I think it was, when they wrestled in the cage. You could have done, you know. So I mean, well, Owen's not actually. It's Owen's wife that or widow that doesn't allow him to be in games anymore.
Oh
So
yeah. You're right about that because the Dark Side of the Ring you mentioned.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So I mean, they probably want to put Owen in the games, but they, like I said, his widow has say over whether they
Rights,
can
yeah,
do that or not.
yeah, it'd be a
Um,
lawsuit.
but like I said, you know, if you want to hide from the Chris Benoit thing, okay, WrestleMania 20, Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle. What what's wrong with, you know, you could add that main event. When I saw the match list and I saw how like depleted it was, I was like, this isn't 40 years of WrestleMania. There's like 25 matches here. I
It's not
mean,
even half of the WrestleManias at
yeah.
all.
I mean, at least 2K14 when they had 30 years, the 30th WrestleMania hadn't happened yet. They had matches, as far as I know, from all 29 WrestleManias. Sure, maybe one match, or it was either one or two matches, but they at least had them. They had every WrestleMania from 1 to 29, the arenas in the game.
Unless they made them as DLCs or even
No,
package DLCs.
no, that was actually included because you unlocked. I think you unlocked the WrestleMania arena as you got to each WrestleMania.
Okay.
You and me actually played it. CM Punk and Triple H in the WrestleMania 3 arena.
Which game was that again?
WWE
2K13?
2K14.
Oh, 2K. Okay, 14. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did a recording of it together, right?
probably, but that probably was deleted by Daily Motion.
All right. I can't believe they most delete all those videos you made. That's crazy of them to do that to you.
Yeah, well,
She filed a lawsuit. Well, it's too late now to do it, but it's been what 3-4 years now.
yeah. And besides, I'm not going to sue them because I mean they're 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 also in a different country. Keep in mind, Daily Motion stationed in French, so they operate
Oh,
under French law.
the French, oui, oui. All right. Sacre bleu.
I don't know anything in French, so
It's like a slang. It's like a slander term, like "sacre bleu." Yeah, we pissed off and all. But if you're French, whatever. That's a stereotype back in the '90s and earlier. So
all right. So I mean, yeah. So this is to get back on track. This is
yes,
I agree with the person who left the comment. I'll probably never I'll pro- I'll never play another WWE 2K game unless it's something I end up buying day one.
yeah.
And it's kind of like, do I want to buy it day one and have to buy the DLC, or do I just want to stick with 2K18 because I own the DLC for that?
hmm
Anything else to add, or ready to move on?
Yeah, I just want to say though that wrestling altogether, things have changed since the last 10, 12, I say 15 years at least. The last time I watched wrestling constantly, we had Drew McIntyre as as a good wrestler, upstanding, rise up the ranks along with Randy Orton and CM Punk at the time, especially, and now it's like I heard things are getting better with all the wrestling types of wrestling matches, with the females involved.
Yeah,
So they're trying to up the game on for the female wrestlers. So even though they look attractive back in the Trish Stratus and Stacey Keebler and all, now they're more wrestling. They wrestle way better than them now, and doing more high flying tables, ladders, and chairs like here, some form of that matter. Well, I told you with the Raw promotion on Netflix, so that was pretty cool. So that's their sacrifice of life and limb now for the entertaining wrestlers, and they didn't want that for the female wrestlers. But hey, if they want to go for it, they go for it. So
yeah. So,
it's like that. If I can say this still too, there's a new movie coming out based on the first popular female wrestler back in the I think it was 40s, if not 30s, or in the 50s. And it's like around the time like Fabulous Moolah started and stuff like that. So it's called The Woman in the Ring or Strong Woman in the Ring or something like that. It's coming out in March. So that's good promo for the female wrestlers to start doing so. So good,
Okay,
good job.
I didn't know about that movie coming
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I saw it on YouTube not so long ago, earlier today. So